Repair the crusher. Are the maintenance skills of the Pakistani masters really up to par? In front of us is a jaw crusher. Due to severe wear of the eccentric shaft, affecting normal operation, had to carry out maintenance. This should have been a simple repair process, but encountered difficulties in disassembly. The masters used various methods, but still couldn't separate the eccentric shaft from the crusher. In the end, the masters used a hoist and worked together to remove it. When starting to repair this crusher, first, the side covers must be removed due to the lack of modern hydraulic pullers. They could only rely on traditional methods, use tapping techniques to slowly tap out the eccentric shaft. However, ordinary tapping is obviously insufficient for stubborn parts, so they came up with an idea, using a hoist to lift a large hammer, aimed at the position of the eccentric shaft. 5 masters worked together, struck vigorously. Each strike was accompanied by a deafening roar, like thunder echoing in the workshop. Although the eccentric shaft only trembled slightly under continuous strikes, it seemed unwilling to yield easily. But the masters did not get discouraged. They relied on their tenacious will, launching Tongji again and again. After a whole hour of unremitting effort, the eccentric shaft was successfully tapped off its original position. After successfully pulling out the eccentric shaft, they then used the hoist again, carefully placed the damaged eccentric shaft onto a specially made rolling bracket to facilitate subsequent repair work. Fixing the eccentric shaft is a key step in the entire repair process. Once the eccentric shaft is firmly fixed on the bracket, 2 masters began to handle the bearings. The wear problem at the bearing seat. They used surfacing technology, welded a full circle around the bearing seat position, gradually rebuilding the damaged parts. This process requires extremely high skill and precision, because every part of the welding must be just right to ensure the accurate position of the bearing seat is restored. After the surfacing work was completed, again, using the hoist to transfer the eccentric shaft to a large lathe prepared for turning processing. Due to the large size of the eccentric shaft, the adjustment and preparation process was extremely time-consuming. It took almost half an hour. Before turning, the master used a caliper to accurately measure the dimensions of the bearing in a ring to ensure the most accurate data is obtained. Once the precise dimensions are obtained, the turning processing can begin to ensure every step is flawless. During the processing, they continuously use calipers for measurement to ensure the precision of the processing. After turning was completed, the caliper was used again for inspection, then tested with the bearing in a ring. Considering the welding process, there might be welding slag splashing onto the threaded part. The masters decided to remachine the threads to ensure its quality and precision meet the highest standards. After completing this series of steps, the caliper was used again for the final inspection. After confirming there were no errors, then carefully adjusted the eccentric shaft back to the position of the crusher, prepared for reassembly. Before installation, the masters first ensured the internal bearing position, and the bearings on the eccentric shaft were clean, to ensure the smooth progress of the installation work. During installation, also requires the assistance of the hoist. Adjust the eccentric shaft to the correct position accurately. Once the position is correct, the masters began to tap the bearing lightly with a small hammer to make it enter smoothly. After ensuring everything is balanced, they use the hoist to lift the large hammer again, prepared for the final tapping. Before tapping, some lubricating oil will be applied to the bearing to ensure smooth movement during installation. Then perform precise tapping. Slowly tap the bearing back to its original position. Once the eccentric shaft and bearing are adjusted back to their original positions and confirmed no errors through rotation check, the covers can be reinstalled. After the box cover is installed, the masters continue to install the external bearings. Before installing the external bearings, the bearings need to be stacked together, and a large fire is lit in the bearing inner ring for heating, to ensure the bearing can expand to the appropriate size during installation. After heating, several masters need to work together to lever the bearing back to the installation position, because the bearing expanded slightly after heating. The installation process became relatively easy. After installing the bearings on both sides, the masters continued to install the bearing lock nuts. These large nuts usually require light tapping with a hammer to tighten properly. In this process, the tapping of the hammer is the key to ensuring the nuts are firmly fixed. The masters not only need to tighten the nuts, but also need to tap to ensure they remain firm in a high vibration environment. Once the nuts are firmly fixed, the entire repair work can be declared complete. How is the team collaboration ability of the Pakistani masters?